Picture it, a different day when I was a working full-time teacher, and I have a conference with a parent. They storm into the room and sit with their arms crossed, obviously agitated. They begin to tell me how disappointed they are that their kid has a bad grade in my class, and how come they didn't know about it sooner. Well, I'm Christina, and I'm the founder of The Impactful Parent, teacher for over 15 years and a mom of my own 4 kids. Now, I'm very familiar with parent-teacher conferences from both sides of the desk. And in this video, I'm going to give you, the parents, the tools you need to walk into parent-teacher conferences with confidence and the armor to ask the right questions so you can help your child. So, if this video was helpful for you, please make sure you press the like button below and subscribe. Let's get started. As a teacher, the parent scenario I just mentioned was very, very frustrating. I didn't even know the parent wasn't getting my emails. I had no idea that they were mad, and from the beginning, they thought I was the bad guy. It is possible that your child acts differently at school than they do at home. So keep an open mind when entering the classroom to talk to your teacher. Now, could the teacher be wrong? Sure, it's possible, but just don't automatically assume, because conferences are complicated. See, there are 3 perspectives you need to consider. One of them is the teacher, the second's the parent, and the third is the student. So, how do you get an accurate story from both your child and the teacher? Well, you need to know how to ask the right questions. So today, I'm going to be giving you lots and lots of questions that you should consider asking. Now, don't worry about scrambling to write it all down. All you have to do is go to theimpactfulparent.com/resources and then download the free, absolutely 100% free Parent-Teacher Conferences worksheet. You can even print the worksheet right out and take it with you when you go and talk to your teachers. So let's get started. With the teacher, what do you ask them? Well, first, have they been trying to contact you? Because if not, why? And it's okay to ask. Maybe they have way too many students. Maybe they have emailed and called you and you just haven't been getting them. Maybe your child just hasn't been telling you everything. Maybe the school makes you responsible for checking grades online. That's very popular right now. So find out where the communication breakdown began. The second thing you want to ask teachers. I've had parents ask me things like, I've been looking for their assignments online, but it seems like the teacher isn't keeping up with inputting the grades, so what should you do? Well, I say email the teacher again. See, confirm that this is true, that they're not putting in the assignments. And email bugging is okay, just be tactful. They can have like about 30 or plus students in their class, and that's a lot to grade. English teachers in particular have a lot of grading, so find out why the assignments aren't posted. There may be a good reason, or there may be not, but you are making the teacher aware that you're being an active participant in your child's education, and this alone is good and may even get them to be more on the ball. So, picture this new story. I walk into parent-teacher conferences to find out that my child hasn't been doing their work. What? I saw them do it. They were working on that project all week. Those math problems were finished and they put them in their backpack. How can the teacher tell me that my child hasn't been turning in the work when I have seen for myself that it's been done? Okay, so if this scenario has happened to you, whether your child is doing their work or not, you need to find out what is happening. What is the root problem? Is someone lying here? Or is the work getting eaten by the dog each night? Is your kid just being lazy and not being responsible? Again, you don't know until you ask the right questions. So here are some more questions to ask the teacher in that scenario. First, what's caused this? What is the teacher's opinion for why the grade is so low? Is it because they think there's a lack of studying? Or do they think that the content is just very difficult? Is there a lack of attention being had in class? Does your child have missing assignments? Remember my story about the child who I saw do the homework, but the teacher said that they weren't doing the work? Well, that story ends by the parent looking in the child's backpack and the locker. And yeah, all the assignments were there and completed, but never turned in. So sometimes our kids lack the executive functioning skills that they need to get the piece of paper from home to backpack to locker to classroom and sometimes into the teacher's hands. Next, ask what can the student do to erase the past? Is there anything? Can they make anything up? Can anything be turned in for partial credit? Can they redo tests? Now, this is up to the teacher and the integrity of their classroom, but remember that teachers are also doing more than teaching content. They are teaching responsibility. So although you may want them to be lenient, you want your kid to be a successful adult someday, and they need to learn to get the work done on time also. They need to learn how to meet deadlines. They need to learn not to procrastinate. And that's for their future job success. So if you give too much leniency, you're teaching them that the rules just don't apply to them. There's a balance. The third thing to ask the teacher is, what can the student do moving forward? Can we create a plan for keeping the student accountable? Can the teacher sign off maybe on the homework in a planner? Or can the teacher post when big assignments are due? Maybe can the student get extra help from them after school? Or is it possible for the student to even get a tutor? Number 4, it is also important you understand the environment that you want your child to be successful in. So, what is a typical workload each night? You have to know the expectations of the classes that your child is taking. Because if they're supposed to be studying 2 times a week and your child is only studying once, well, this could be the problem. I know that's a lot of questions to ask a teacher, but knowing the expectations and being able to be on the same page as a teacher is really step 1 for your child's success. So now let's move over to the child. Let's say you find out that your child has a less than desirable grade, and after getting the teacher's point of view, you start asking your child questions. Because see, they are part of the problem, so they should also be part of the solution. So here are some questions to ask your child. The first one, what is their point of view on their grade? Do they think it's good or do they think it's bad? That alone will tell you a little bit about their effort level. Also, what part of this grade do they take responsibility for? Can they admit that they have not studied or not turned in work? Or maybe that the material is just really difficult for them. 3, what do they think they can do moving forward to make improvements? 4, when did the problem start? Or what type of assignments does this happen most often? For example, maybe they do good on homework assignments, but they don't do well in class because, well, in class, they have friends there and they get distracted. Maybe they are good with smaller assignments, but bigger assignments that are more complex are just more challenging. Next, do they feel they need extra support from a parent or from the teacher? Do they feel that they can improve on their own? Those are questions to ask. What about, where are the old assignments now? Did you review the content when the teacher gave it back to you and things that you missed so that you can improve on them? Or did you just crumple up those papers and throw them away into the trash? Well, a lot of subjects build on past knowledge, like math and languages especially. And if they aren't taking the time to review what they missed and learn it, then they're actually digging themselves a deeper hole for the next assignment. And next thing you want to ask your child is, what does their locker or backpack or binder look like? And check it out for yourself. Are they organized? Are they messy? Are they scattered? How can having a more organized locker or backpack improve their work? You may have to actually walk them through this kind of reasoning. Have you asked for help throughout the semester? Who have you been talking to about your grades? Anyone? Have you reached out for additional help? Have you advocated for yourself to redo or submit assignments late? See, those are questions because some kids just let the whole semester just slide away before taking action because they feel helpless and simply don't know how to advocate for themselves. They don't know what to do. So you may have to walk your child through the steps that they need to advocate and express their concerns to get the help they need. Also ask them, what do their study habits look like? Do they have a schedule for working on homework? Or are they procrastinating? Maybe they're doing homework in front of the television. See, once grades drop, study habits and expectations should be redefined. And then, what are their goals for this class or for this school year? How does not reaching those goals affect their future? Are their goals attainable and realistic? Getting some kids to forward think and see natural consequences for their actions today is difficult for some kids. They literally don't have the connections developed in their brain to make those links, so you may have to spell it out for them. Also ask them, have you been attending class and paying attention? Are you distracted in class? And if so, what can you do to improve your attention? Have you missed class a lot? Have you made up the work when class is missed? And what steps do you take to make up work? Asking your child all these questions is getting down to the why the grades are so low. If you start creating punishments or consequences without knowing the why, then those punishments and consequences will likely be ineffective. So thank you for joining me today, and I appreciate your support, and I hope that I was able to help you. Press the like button below, please, and subscribe. And for more free content, like free content and giveaways, go to theimpactfulparent.com.